Right now, as you're watching this video, there's probably something important you should be doing instead. Maybe it's that project you've been putting off, that conversation you've been avoiding, or that goal you keep saying you'll start tomorrow. But here's what nobody tells you about procrastination. It has absolutely nothing to do with being lazy. In fact, some of the most intelligent, capable people are the worst procrastinators. So if you're tired of the guilt, the stress, and watching opportunities slip away while you scroll through your phone, this video will change everything. I'm about to show you the real psychology behind why we procrastinate, the devastating impact it's having on your life that you might not even realize, and most importantly, a complete system to break free from this cycle forever. The problem, it's not about laziness, the real psychology behind procrastination. Here's the truth that will set you free. Procrastination isn't a character flaw, and it's definitely not about being lazy. Research from leading psychologists reveals that procrastination is actually an emotional regulation problem disguised as a time management issue. When you avoid that important task, your brain is trying to protect you from three powerful psychological triggers. First, there's fear of failure. Your brain would rather have you not try at all than risk the pain of falling short. Then there's perfectionism, where the task feels so overwhelming because you've set impossible standards that paralysis feels safer than imperfection. Finally, there's what psychologists call temporal discounting. Your brain prioritizes immediate comfort over future rewards, even when you logically know better. Think about Sarah, a marketing manager who kept putting off her presentation for weeks, scrolling social media instead. She wasn't lazy. She was terrified of being judged by her colleagues and had convinced herself it needed to be absolutely perfect. The hidden impact, how procrastination is secretly destroying your life. Most people think procrastination just means getting things done later, but the real damage goes much deeper than missed deadlines. Every time you procrastinate, you're creating a cascade of psychological and physiological stress that impacts every area of your life. The constant mental background noise of unfinished tasks creates what researchers call cognitive load. Your brain is literally using energy to remember and worry about what you're not doing. This leads to chronic stress, which elevates cortisol levels, disrupts sleep, and impairs decision-making abilities. But here's the devastating part. Most people don't realize procrastination doesn't just delay success. It actively sabotages your self-confidence. Each time you break a promise to yourself, you erode your self-trust, making it even harder to take action in the future. Consider Mike, a freelance designer who missed 3 client deadlines in a row due to procrastination. Not only did he lose those clients, but the stress and guilt made him doubt his abilities so much that he started turning down new opportunities, creating a downward spiral that nearly ended his career. The solution framework, breaking down the procrastination fortress. The key to beating procrastination isn't willpower, it's strategy. The most effective approach starts with what psychologists call Task decomposition. When your brain sees a large, complex task, it triggers the same fight or flight response as a physical threat. But when you break that overwhelming project into specific, concrete actions, you bypass this resistance mechanism entirely. Instead of write business plan, you create open Google Docs. Write one sentence about my business idea. Research 3 competitors for 10 minutes. Each small step feels manageable and creates momentum. Next, implement the Eisenhower Matrix, a decision-making tool that categorizes tasks by urgency and importance. This prevents you from getting trapped in the urgency addiction where you only work on things that are screaming for attention, while your important, long-term goals get neglected. Finally, use the Pomodoro Technique strategically. Work for 25 focused minutes, then take a 5-minute break. This isn't just about time management. It's about training your brain. That focused work has a definite endpoint, which reduces the psychological resistance that triggers procrastination. Building your anti-procrastination routine, the architecture of success. Success isn't about motivation, it's about systems. Most productive people don't rely on feeling inspired. They create routines that make productivity automatic. Start by designing what I call your success scaffold, a daily structure that supports your goals without requiring decision-making energy. This means time blocking your calendar, so every important task has a designated home, creating morning routines that prime your brain for focus, and establishing implementation. Intention specific, if-then plans that remove decision fatigue. For example, if it's 9 a.m. on weekdays, then I work on my most important project for 90 minutes. Track your progress visibly using a simple system, like a habit tracker or project milestone chart. Your brain is wired to see progress, and seeing visual evidence of advancement triggers dopamine releases that naturally motivate continued action. Set realistic goals that stretch you without overwhelming you, what researchers call the Goldilocks zone of challenge. Too easy, and you'll get bored. Too hard, and you'll trigger procrastination. The sweet spot is about 4% beyond your current comfort zone. Maintaining momentum, eliminating triggers, and building unbreakable accountability. The final piece of the procrastination-free puzzle is environmental design and social accountability. Your environment is constantly influencing your behavior in ways you don't consciously notice. Procrastination triggers hide everywhere. The phone within arm's reach, the cluttered desk that overwhelms your visual cortex, the comfortable couch that signals relaxation. Instead of work, conduct a procrastination audit of your spaces and ruthlessly eliminate or relocate anything that makes avoiding work easier than doing work. Create what researchers call friction for bad behaviors, and remove friction for good ones. Make it harder to check social media and easier to access your work materials. But here's the game changer. Build accountability systems that make procrastination socially awkward. This could mean working alongside a focused friend, joining a productivity group, or simply announcing your daily intentions to someone who will check in on your progress. The fear of letting others down is often stronger than the fear of letting ourselves down. Finally, master the psychology of celebration. Every time you complete a task or make progress, acknowledge it consciously. Your brain learns through reinforcement, and celebrating small wins creates a positive feedback loop that makes productivity feel rewarding instead of punishing. Call to action. If you've watched this far, you're already in the top 10% of people who are serious about changing their relationship with procrastination. But here's the critical moment, the gap between knowing and doing. Right now, while this information is fresh in your mind, I want you to choose one specific technique from this video and commit to testing it for the next 48 hours. Maybe it's breaking down that big project you've been avoiding into 5 small steps. Or maybe it's time blocking tomorrow's schedule. Or perhaps it's removing your phone from your workspace. Pick the strategy that resonated most strongly with you and take action before you close this video. In the comments below, write down exactly which technique you're going to try and what specific task you're going to apply it to. This isn't just engagement, it's accountability. When you publicly commit to something, you're 65% more likely to follow through. I personally read every comment and often provide additional tips based on your specific situation. If this video helped you see procrastination differently and gave you hope that change is possible, hit that like button to help others discover these strategies. And if you want to continue this transformation journey, subscribe and ring the notification bell, because next week I'm revealing the advanced psychological techniques that high achievers use to maintain motivation even during their lowest moments. Your future self, the one who gets things done consistently and feels proud of their progress, is waiting for you to take action. Don't let them down.